What's up guys, AJ here from 3D Printing Systems. In today's video I want to talk to you about the new view and model options in the Up Studio software. Let's get stuck in. So when we open the Up Studio software, we're greeted with the home screen. It's got a couple of rolling banners showing the latest features of the either Up products or the Up Studio software or the iPhone app. All that sort of stuff comes up here. So where I want to talk to you is in the Up menu just down the side here. What we want to do is first connect to a printer. Now with the Up Studio software we can manage a whole range of printers, so if you've got a lab of printers or just a couple around the house that you want to control, it's perfect. All our latest products are Wi-Fi enabled. So we're going to click to printer number 2, which is an Up box, and we've got the Up box platform displayed in front of us with the dimensions that we can print inside. Okay, so the pieces that I want to talk to you about today, we'll start with the hamburger wheel, which has a few new additions. The hamburger wheel allows you to move your objects, rotate them, and alter them in a few different ways. Now, previously this was fixed. You can see that if we click and drag from the center, we can now move it around. We can also raise it to the top, or the left or the right sides, and we can use it like a menu bar. Okay, if we bring it down to the bottom and let go, then it will go back to its default position as the hamburger wheel. Okay, now if we go to the add model section, another new feature comes up here as well. We've got the add basic, and you can see there's a few basic shapes that we can put into the software: squares, spheres, cylinders. So let's drop maybe a square in there. And one of the nice new pieces to the UI, or the user interface, is these animations when you do certain things within the software, like the box just dropping down. Okay, so now that we've got an object here, we can click on it. It will come up with details about the object, and you can edit basic parameters down on the right hand side. We've got the length, width, and height. We can also do that up here on the hamburger wheel. If we go to scale, and we can see that we've got the option to move the object around. We can lock the proportions, or the same as lock aspect ratio. And if we unclick that, when we start to scale the object, it will allow us to do it without the proportions being locked. If we click lock proportions, and now we change the size of the object, those proportions will stay the same. There we go. Cool. Now, what else we got? We've got more over here, so more options, fix errors, save, reset to default, all the same as previously. We've also got rotate. With the rotate options, you get these nice graphics here where you can move the object around using the outside of the object. We can tilt it, rotate it, anything we need to do. Okay. View options are still the same as normal. We've got the free view, which brings it back to default. We can choose left, right, and again we see these nice animations where it brings us around the work platform. Okay. Display mode. Now this is another one of the new features. We'll just move back to the original view. So we've got the objects displayed by default in a solid format. We can also change to view them in wireframe, right, or transparent, or a mix of wireframe and solid, which is really handy if you've got lots of objects that you've placed, or if you're looking inside the objects for faces that you didn't expect to be there or you want to alter back in your CAD software. We'll leave it on solid for now. We've also got clip view. Clip view is also really handy for looking inside the internal parts of the object. We can move in and out to change where the object is cut and where we can see the object, reducing the amount of object we can see or increasing the amount of objects we can see. We can also tilt the cut so that we can look up, down, sideways, wherever we need to. And then we've got the auto place function, which doesn't change. It automatically places your object in the best position for printing. If you've got multiple objects, then it will position them all perfectly for printing. You've also got the option of manually moving them around before you start your print as well. Lastly, we've got flip. So if we flip the object, it will spin it around. Obviously not great for using on a cube because it's going to look the same either way, but for other objects you might want to have a mirrored version of what it looks like. Cool. Alright, so that's the hamburger wheel. Again, a couple of the new features there, and for anyone that hasn't used Up Studio a lot before, then a few things for you to take away from that. Now over here, back in the Add Object plane, we can also put a second object in. Parameters will come up, and when we move the object, we get this nice, easy position to move from. Okay. We can also raise an object, and if we don't like it where it is, where are we? If we don't like an object being up in the air or raised on the Z-axis, we've got the option here to click drop to print bed, and that'll automatically place it back down on the print bed, which is awesome if you've got things that you're moving around a lot and you just want everything to be placed so that you can start printing with it without auto placing and bringing them all back to the center. Now we can add a 2D picture, which was the same as in the previous Up Studio software, but there's a couple of versions or alterations that we can do now to our pictures. So we'll open up that and let's select a picture. And it's going to give you a 3D model of that picture that you've selected. Now there's a couple of ways that you can alter this. We can have different base types. The picture will just lay sort of a square model onto the base of the platform. We can have lampshade, which is quite cool, quite quirky. You'll be able to create a lampshade with your image displayed on it. And then the last one is the frame. So if you had a picture that you wanted to print out or do like a lithophane, so have a light behind it and it would look quite cool with the backlight, then we can also do that. We'll zoom in there. And we can see that with these current settings, there's a little bit of graininess to the picture that we've selected. Now if we change the model height to something a little bit smaller, we can see the picture comes out a little bit smoother. Change the model height to large, then it will pick up a lot of that detail. Okay, so we're going to keep the model height quite small, and that's just going to keep the picture a lot clearer. Base height we can change as well, which doesn't apply to frame, but in the picture that will change the size of the base of the object. So we can see that this one is quite thick, or if we change it down to 0.7 mils, we can see it lays almost nearly flat on the print bed. Let's go back to the frame. Okay, a couple other things that we can do now with these 2D pictures is we can draw on them using a pen, or we can put in our own text. Now if we put in our text, it means you can put labels on your picture or put your name on them, whatever you want to do, company logo, company name, sorry. So if we go on there, let's click just down here and we'll put some text in. We can change the font if we want to, we can change the size as well, and we can move that around wherever we want it. So if we click apply here, you can see that that comes up on the model, and now we've got a nice little graphic, little text logo on there. Awesome. Now we can do the same with the pen as well. We can change the pen size to have it large or small, pen color, pen type. We can draw a box so that we've got a nice little border, or we could use the pen to write on there as well, or draw lines, whatever you want. Apply. Zoom out, and then we can see that that's all going to get printed into our object now. Cool. And that's pretty much it. You either keep the current model and save it, or we can exit and keep going with our previous models as well. And the last feature that I didn't want to miss out was with the objects, if you've rotated something or you've moved it in a way that you don't necessarily want to print it, and you want to select a side that you want to have on the bottom, we've got this option in the rotate section where we can click rotate face to bottom. You can select the face that you want sitting on the platform, and then it will automatically place that object in the position that you've already got it. Really, really handy for scan data if you don't know exactly, or you're trying to pick exactly what face you want to have at the bottom of the print. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found the information helpful. Don't forget to check out our other tutorial videos for something to keep you up. Well, that's all for me for now. Catch you later.